Motor vessel Gen Z, which ran aground on its way from St. Maarten to Guyana, encountered difficulties off the northern coast of St. Kitts before drifting and running aground in the Narrows near Newcastle, Nevis, when it struck a reef. According to Lieutenant Lenn Daniel, Executive Officer at the St. Kitts-Nevis Coast Guard, the vessel was carrying cargo to Guyana. While attempts were made to assist the crew, they were deemed not to be in immediate danger. However, sea conditions in the channel created much difficulty in getting close to the vessel, the Coast Guard official said.
The captain reported that they encountered some issues a little bit north of St. Kitts, and some of the issues included engine issue and navigation failure of the autopilot. They also had some issues with the steering due to the navigation failure of the autopilot. So they basically drifted off, got pushed down into Nevis, ended up embedded on a reef. So they requested assistance from the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard responded. Unfortunately, because of the location they were in, the Coast Guard was unable to, get on board to assist them in any way. However, they did make communication with the Coast Guard. Communication was established. They stated that they did not require any immediate attention in relation to the personnel on board because everyone was in good order and the vessel was not taking out water at the moment. They went and contacted the Green Assist, who is owned and operated by Mr. Mike McKenzie. He came over with the assistance of us to the area, to the scene, to look and see if he can possibly assist in any way from a private company standpoint. However, he was unable to do anything. So he just looked at it and gave his assessment and his recommendations, and he was transported back to shore. We were unable to do anything at the moment, so we just left it because the state was really bad and we were unable to get close to it.
Captain Mike McKenzie of Marine Assist International was requested to examine the situation and ascertain if the vessel was damaged. However, sea conditions at the time made diving near the reef a dangerous proposition. Captain McKenzie did, however, offer advice on the situation.
We went out in the morning to do an evaluation, and we worked with them, took a couple of the crew that wanted to get off, took them to shore. And then, after multiple phone calls with the powers that be and so on, we departed scene, and the Elizabeth C. remained there with the captain on board, and I had advised him to put his anchor down, which he did, and in case he got swept over the reef with the larger surf and the incoming hurricane. And later on, I think it was the fall, during the next night, the surf came up and lifted him up high enough, and the boat wasn't holed, so it wasn't taking on any water, so he was able to get lifted up, and he backed off and apparently got under his own power. So he was a very, very, very lucky man.
Mm-hmm. The cargo remained on board?
Yes, as far as I know. I think some was lost overboard, yeah.
Okay. And the Coast Guard, what was their role in this whole?
Well, they were out there to save life, etc., and observe and enforce the law. And so, we worked with them. They were good. They were super helpful, and it had a positive outcome. And thank goodness that it did, because it would have been a lot of fuel. There's 8,000 liters on board, and it would have been spilt all over the coast of St. Kitts and Nevis predominantly. So,
Marine Assist International also provided significant recovery services to another cargo vessel that recently ran aground on the northern shores of St. Kitts. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.